This is a special moment. Here we have the last of my 1960s era Spitzer Boat Tail 180 grain Sierras. Put that next to the modern one. There ain't much difference, but there is a little bit of difference in the ogive. They both pack a wallop. One's a little bit more pointy, like my head. So we are going to take the modern version, place that right into the magazine. Replace this older version, place that in the magazine. We're going to load her up into this beauty of a gun. Let's take her out. Let's see what she can do. Before they had the GameKings, the tipped GameKings, and the Pro Hunters, they just made bullets. They've been making bullets. It's been awesome for a long time. Leaving the muzzle at around 2,700 plus feet per second, I have set up my standard redneckery, and learning from a great philosopher, Uniform Juliet, I've learned that sometimes you want some side ballistic panels to help catch bullets that go astray. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. This is all I got. I just want to kind of see what they look like, and I'm hoping to capture both of them. It's going to depend on how many jugs are left over. My estimation is that they both are basically still the same bullet, and they're going to both look dramatically similar. Do you like that? Now that is a camera stand. Sometimes they're out in range really pays off. I forgot to count how many jugs and crap were there, but it looks like we did ourselves well. The paint can is completely obliterated. We got our innie and we got our outie right there. Okay, not too shabby. We went through that one, and I imagine that's the same one. And then we went through that one right there. And so, okay. So there we got, all right, got our bullet recovered right there. But that hydraulic pressure as that bullet hits and basically inverts that lid or exverts. It does something and it pushes that lid out, but gives you a nice little imprint of what the ground looks like, just in case you were wondering. So I guess that's probably the 3rd gallon, and it's still exiting with a great amount of force. Then we enter into this, and you can hear inside of there something. You can also see right there we've got penetration right into there. I am very hopeful we can recover something in there. That's got to be healthy. So there we've recovered a little bit more. All right, luckily we've got this bullet holder. All right, so the bullet went in here and stopped. All right, now there we have it. Complete jacket separation. That's still dang effective. I mean, so it separates, the elk goes down. You hear, I always say this, I guess I'm just rambling, same old crap, I always do, but elk goes down, can't complain. So the bullet ain't pretty in some people's eyes, but in my eyes, that is beautiful. That thing dumped all of its energy in an explosive manner and an effective manner at that, and ended up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jugs of water. And the first one happened to be still skinned, so that ain't nothing to be ashamed about. Now let's go get ourselves a modern version. See how it goes. Here we got a redneck bolt stop reset up. All right. Nice. Well, I think we done it. I think we got it. We got good vibes on this one. Look at that. Wouldn't be an OBS video if I didn't end up drawing blood. We got our innie and we got our outie right there. Fantastic. Split her right down the middle. So I'd say that's not too bad, especially for not actually holding it on the dot. So I guess I had the right mechanical offset. There we have our entrance wound, and there we've got our nice exit wound. The milk jug's still pretty dang explosive, but it's different, which, I mean, that's the reality, right? Things change. They're not always the same. But went into here, explosive destruction to this jug right here. Anyway, so went through this gallon can, blew up, exploded into here. That bolt was already expanding. Here's some more shrapnel. Continuing to do destruction. Entering there, doing mass damage. Still quite a bit of power in there. Exiting right here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Going into the 4th gallon. And not really anything in there. So really in that first, 18 inches, that's where you're really getting your spray. Definitely hitting many vitals, tearing them up. Now into the 5th gallon, we've got the entrance, but I imagine no exit, just like before. So that part's consistent. And looky there, almost identical. So I wasn't really imagining much difference, but what do we learn here? We learn what we already know. If you want to have an effective hunting bullet, you don't necessarily have to have anything fancy. Just having a standard, well-made cup and core bullet that's accurate, and you have yourself a fine hunting instrument. Anyway, you make your own assumptions, but is it ineffective? I submit that it is not. Really not. I mean, not a lot different. Let's take a look at our Sierras. Right here, we've got our modern Sierra. This is that's your GameKing right there. And then right here, you've got your 1960s era. I think it's around 65 or 66. This version of the same thing. But this is before they called it GameKing. They used to just call it a 180 grain 308 Spitzer boat tail. The variances are minimal. And honestly, I'm getting the same point of impact, so it's all negligible. But yet, even with those differences, performance practically identical. All right, there we've got 132.7 grains. So we lost, 47.2, 47.3 grains. Zero that out. I have a feeling that this one's going to win on weight retention, at least in this go. So here we've got 118.8 grains. I think close enough. That's got to be good enough for cows. But anyway, that's how that came out. That is very similar to the recovered bullets of the tip GameKing that I've found. So that was recovered from a similar test, I think, with 5-gallon buckets. Now that was the tip GameKing. That was a 165 grain. Here we have 94.7. About 70 grains shy. And with these, now granted they're going a little bit slower, so it makes a little bit more sense. We were about 60 shy. But if you're looking for a bullet that's got 100% weight retention, it comes out looking like these ones right here each and every time, I just tell you, Sarah's not the one for you. If you want an effective bullet that does a good job and performs like a bullet's supposed to perform, Sarah could very well be the bolt for you if it shoots well out of your gun. And I would bet that it will. Now we've cured the age-old debate. Does a 1965 Sierra work the same as a 2000 something Sierra, 2020 something Sierra? The answer is yes. Yes and yes. And do the GameKings perform very similar to the tip GameKings? Once again, yes. I really, personally, I'm not. Other than the tip GameKings look just bad A, I don't know that you really get that much difference in performance. So run out to your store and don't buy some because they won't be in stock, right? Isn't that the story nowadays? Guess what? We got some RCP that we've done some tests on in the past. And by tests, I mean we've done one test. We shot it with the 7mm mag. Let's drop that in there. Make sure that magazine's in. Let's rack around. Oh yeah. Delectable. All right, so what we try to do on each of these, we try to shoot the inside of the pipe. Now the one right here, that's the one I just shot. The other one right over here, that was from the 7mm. Would say this 30-06 one looks a little deeper. Here's a compelling little angle. I remember when I shot that 7mm at this right here, I wasn't sure if this crack was from that 7mm. Now, I'm guessing that was. That 30-06 hitting right here. That definitely was from the bullet. It doesn't necessarily mean that the 7mm is weak or the 30-06 is stronger, but at least at this close range and with this bullet compared with the other one, that 30-06 did hit harder. You find yourself some nice barbecue ribs? Oh, that looks good. Oh, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.